Hello, YouTube. We're back. Welcome back to another video. I'm Nina, and today we're talking about your grocery list. Are you leaving home without your grocery list? Okay, I have to get ready, so I'm doing my hair. So if it looks a little bit crazy, please don't judge me. But yeah, hop on the chat, like the video, send me an emoji, let me know you're in here, and let's have this conversation. Okay. So, your grocery list. So, a lot of people, a lot of women understand the concept of standards. I think we all do. But when it actually comes down to actually dating, a lot of that just goes out the window and it becomes a whole other story. So, how do you make sure that you keep your standards and get what you want consistently when you're dating? So, liken your standards to a grocery list. When you go to the store, if you look on the shelves, obviously there's practically everything that you can imagine available. Okay. But are you looking for everything? Are you looking for everything? Do you want everything that's in that store? No. You have specific things that you want. That's why you have a grocery list. That's why you take a grocery list into the grocery store because you know what you want. You don't want to be distracted by all the other options that have nothing to do with what you want. How many times have you walked into the shop just to get bread and milk and you get everything in the shop except bread and milk, and you only realize that when you get home and you're like, oh my goodness, if I just made a list. Okay, if that's ever happened to you, then you understand the importance of a grocery list. Now, it sounds really awkward and odd to liken a grocery list or a shopping experience to dating, but it's no different in that sense. It's actually no different. So, when you go out there and you start seeing people and you start dating, whether you're, meeting people saying yes to dates or, whether you're on apps or it doesn't really matter. But if you're meeting people, you're dating, and you don't have your grocery list on you every single day, all the time, whenever you interact with whoever, then you're going to leave that grocery store, you're going to leave that dating experience with everything else except what you really want. And that's what's happening with a lot of women. And they end up saying, oh, it's not worth dating. This dating thing is overrated. Men are overrated. Men are all the same. Blah, 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 blah. It's just because she left home without her grocery list, came back with everything except the bread and the milk, and now she's frustrated because the experience that she's having is not actually the one that she wants. So we have to take responsibility. We have to realize where we are making the mistakes, where we are going wrong, so that we can fix it, we can change it, and we can do better. When you know better, you do better. So, ladies, make your grocery list. Make your grocery list. Be proactive in your dating experience. Don't just sit and wait for the right guy to come along. Be proactive. What does the right guy look like to you? How are you going to know he's the right guy? Let's take it from the top and go backwards. What is your goal? So some women want somebody that they can share their, how was your day, blah, 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 have conversations, da, 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 da. Okay, put that in your grocery list. Some women want somebody who's going to take them to nice places, treat them really nicely, spoil them. Put that in your grocery list. Some women want a man who's going to help her with her business. He's going to mentor her, teach her. whatever, put that in your grocery list. And then stop entertaining men that don't bring you what you want. Because just because you've put on your grocery list that you want bread and milk doesn't mean the shop is not going to have everything else on the shelves. They are. It's up to you to be disciplined enough to go in, get your bread and milk, and leave. You can't expect the shop to get rid of everything else and only have bread and milk because that's what you say you want. And that's what women do. Oh, why are all these men coming at me offering A, B, and C? That's not what I want. Yeah, but that's what men do. And it's also sort of a test, like from maybe the universe or whatever you believe in, of like, are you really, really looking for what you say you're looking for? Are you really ready for that? So the universe will send you all of these guys that are offering you everything else. And if you keep entertaining them, then that just shows that you're actually not ready for what you said you want. You know, if you keep going to the grocery store and you keep coming back with, like snacks, every time instead of the bread and milk, you probably don't actually want that bread and milk, to be honest. Just be honest with yourself and change your grocery list to what you actually want and what you're actually willing to put effort into. So be proactive. When you wait for the right guy to come along, you're really playing yourself and you're really playing men, because how are they supposed to know what you don't even know about yourself? That doesn't even make sense. So have your grocery list, be proactive. That's something that I've had to incorporate into my dating experience because, um, you know, if you don't have that kind of game plan, they do. And you're either going to play into their game plan or you're going to have your game plan, you know. So, what does your grocery list look like? It looks like a bunch of experiences that you want from dating, not from a specific person, not from a specific man, from dating. So, what you're saying is if somebody brings me this experience, I will entertain them. If someone does not bring me this experience, I will not entertain them. Okay, so this is you being proactive, saying this is the type of experience I want. You have to make that decision and you have to be conscious about it, because if you are not, then it's just going to be a superficial thing that you just say, but you actually don't really mean it and you don't live it. So, for example, a simple thing like if a guy wants to get to know me, he'll take me on a nice date. That's a standard. That is a requirement. That is a grocery list, something I can actually check. Okay. So that's for me, step number one. If a guy wants to see me, he wants to spend time with me, he wants to get to know me, he will set up a date. Okay. There's no getting around it. So I don't care how good looking he is. I don't care how nice his car is. I don't care how nice he talks. I don't care how educated he is. If he's not setting up a date to spend time with me, I am not engaging. I'll give you an example. So, as you guys know, I'm on a dating app, and one of the guys that I won't say I'm chatting to because I'm actually not chatting with anybody. But one of the guys that kind of sparked up conversation with me texted me, well, inboxed me last night. So this guy was supposed to set up a date for us early this week, and he didn't. And so he inboxes me and he says to me, "Hey, how's your evening?" And this is like late in the evening, around about 8 o'clock. how's your evening? I'm like, no, my evening is good, thank you. How's yours? And he's like, what are you up to? I'm like, well, I'm just at home, you know. And he's like, okay, cool, let's go out. I'm like, so I didn't respond because that's something that's not gonna happen for me. You know, I'm not gonna do that. But if I didn't have the grocery list of if a man wants to spend time with me, he has to set up a date, then I would be like, well, I suppose he wants to spend time with me. I suppose I'm not really doing anything. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go out. Plus, we were supposed to go out earlier this week, so okay, you know. And I won't lie, the thought did cross my mind of, well, if not, why not? But the effort for me is as important as the actual date, you know. The fact that it's like a last minute date. You only thought about me now at like 8 o'clock on a Friday night. That's not going to end well. You clearly have an agenda that has nothing to do with impressing me, that has nothing to do with me going on a nice date, getting ready, getting excited, looking forward to this, that, the next thing. That's got nothing to do with anything. The agenda is Friday night vibes. So I ignored him because that is not on my list. That's like walking into the grocery store looking for bread and milk and seeing, chocolate, dark chocolate, and thinking, no, sorry, not today. That's not what I'm looking for today. Maybe tomorrow. If I decide to bake a chocolate cake tomorrow, I'll come back for some dark chocolate. But today, no, it's not that type of party, And ladies, there's really no reason to, when you start doing this, there's no reason to get offended, to get mad, to, insult people, start calling people names and all of that kind of stuff. There's no need to do that. All you do is just acknowledge that, okay, we're not looking for the same experience clearly, and that's okay, and move on, So I really didn't even say anything. I didn't even engage him. I didn't even, no. I didn't even say no. I just kept quiet and I moved on because, I don't even have to explain myself at this stage. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match. And that's it. There's nothing wrong with it. So the other thing that your grocery list does, your standard, what your standards will do for you is they're going to weed out these low effort men. They're going to weed out the people that don't correspond to your list. So, for example, if on your list you want somebody who cares about how your day was and all of that kind of stuff, if you come across somebody who never asks you how your day was, then you don't need to waste your time over there because that's never going to be on that person's mind. And it stops you from trying to change people, which is the biggest thing that women mess up with. You meet somebody because you like them, you're attracted to them on a physical level. Now you want them to become emotionally what you required in the beginning, but they never showed you that. And that was never a requirement for you. You went with your physical whatever, and that can be very distracting because sometimes what stimulates you or attracts you physically doesn't always correlate with your actual standards, what you actually want. It's like if you're on a diet and you're not supposed to eat sugar, what you want, what you're used to, is not what's good for you. But if you keep going with what you used to, you're going to keep going for the sugar, one way or another. You will find ways because that's what you're used to. That's all that you're willing to accept, So when you have standards, you have to get out of your emotions. You have to get out of your, oh, but I don't find him attractive. Well, what has attraction brought you? And if that's one of your standards, I'm actually going to say go back to the drawing board, because if physical, this and that, yes, obviously, it makes life more whatever. But I'll tell you something. You can be with somebody that you're physically attracted to, and your life can be miserable. And you can be with somebody that you initially weren't physically attracted to. And as time goes on, and this person keeps consistently showing you something that is more meaningful than physical attraction, your life can be absolutely amazing. You have no idea. Your physical attraction could actually be keeping you from your ideal dating experience. Just because you want to keep doing something that feels familiar, but it's proven itself to you that it doesn't work. So you have to be able to weed out your own weak emotions, and you have to be able to weed out low effort men. A guy that texts you on a Friday night, let's go out, that's very low effort, because he's already out, he's bored, he's looking for, a quick 45-minute drink and chat before he suggests, hey, let's go back to my place. It's very clear, and it's very low effort. He didn't have to, plan a date. He didn't have to take you to a nice restaurant. He didn't have to impress you. He didn't have to care about how was your meal. He didn't have to do any of that. All he has to do is buy you a few drinks and take you home. And that's it. And that is not how we roll over here. So I just ignored. it. So that's what you have to do. You just ignore it, and move on to the next person who's going to put in the effort that you require. Because somebody will. Trust me. So another mistake that a lot of women make is that you have one requirement, and I'm very guilty of this. I've spent a lot of time on that, having one requirement. And then when that person meets that one requirement, then it's like, and there's nothing else. So have more than one requirement. What do I mean by that? So have a whole roadmap of where it's going to start and where it's going to, I don't want to say end, but the final step before you commit, or the final step before you do whatever. Have a very clear step by step path that you want to go on in your dating experience. Because a lot of the times, guys will suggest things based on what has worked for them in the past, and we know what their agenda is. So you have to have suggestions as well for what kind of experience you want. So let me give you an example. My thing is my first date and my second date and possibly the third date, I'm very clear about what I want. Okay, what the standard is, what I require. So dinner, lunch, going somewhere nice where I can get dressed up, and we can be seen, right? That's the first requirement. So a guy has to be able to do that in order to even spend time with me initially. Okay, so let's say he's done that. What's next? Now, this is where I was stuck for a very long time. I didn't have a what's next. It was just like, okay, well, I suppose if he's taking me to dinner 2 or 3 times, I don't actually really know. And then that's when his agenda would kick in, because then he would be like, oh, let's do something different. Let's go to, I wanna take you and show you my place. And it'd be like, okay, well, we've been on like 3 or 4 dates. Yeah, I guess we could kind of do that. Plus, he's been talking about a relationship, right? So let me tell you, ladies, how these guys put game on us, okay? He's been talking relationship because he knows that's what you want to hear. And then he plays along the whole dinner date, lunch date thing for 2 or 3 dates. Then he starts suggesting, well, if we're going to be dating, then you should probably see where I stay. And it will literally just be a conversation around seeing where he stays, nothing else. So it's easy for you to buy into that and be like, okay, I guess that couldn't hurt. And before you know it, you're having indoor dates and you're not really doing anything else. And that goes from a standard to below standard. Okay. I know because I've been there. So you have to have more than just a dinner date requirement, especially if you are looking for a relationship. So, what other kind of experiences would you like before you get to a point where you're now having indoor dates? Because remember, indoor dates are going to be part of your dating experience. They are going to be part of your relationship building at a certain level and only for certain people. You can't keep going to people's houses that you've only been on 2 or 3 dates with. It's not okay. It's not even safe. Okay, some of these people are not mentally okay, and you're putting yourself in danger. If nothing else, your physical safety. So, what else can a guy do to impress you besides take you on dinner before he even has the right to have you in his physical, you know, convenient space, like his house, or even coming over to your place? What are those experiences? So you have to write those things down. If you want to so I'll just give you examples from my personal list. um you know I would like to actually engage in an activity. So instead of just sitting down having a meal chatting, have an actual activity. Go somewhere like a safari drive, or a spa, or something that's going to create a very distinct memory, because going on dinner dates is something that a lot of people do all the time. you know a lot of first dates are dinner dates. I have a dinner date today. I had a date 2 days ago. I had a date the day before that. I have another date tomorrow. I mean, this is a lot of dinner dates. I had 2 dinner dates last week. Or was it the week before? I can't remember now. So yeah, it was last week. Dinner dates are easy to come across. Easy, 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 easy. What happens after dinner? I want to go to a spa. I want to go on a game drive. I want to go on a hot air balloon. I want to do cute, fun stuff that, requires two people, not necessarily, but is going to be more fun with two people. Let's do that. And that makes, it clear to a guy what kind of lifestyle you want, so that even if you do end up in a relationship with him, he matches your lifestyle. You don't have to downgrade your lifestyle because you couldn't suggest better physical activities to get involved in. Yeah, physical activities to get involved in. So when you have your map, then you have a very clear, you know layout of the kind of lifestyle, a very clear picture of the kind of lifestyle that you want. Should you get in a relationship with anybody? Yeah, I want to go on a hot air balloon with my partner. Yeah, I want to go on spa dates. Of course, let's go get a couples massage. That's so cute. So if you have that as a standard from the beginning and you guys start dating and you date seriously, he's not going to be surprised when you bring up a spa again, because he already knew from the beginning that that's what you like. But if you were happy chilling at home, Netflix and chill, popcorn, Uber Eats, whatever, ordering in, if you were happy with that from the beginning, and then all of a sudden You're like, you never take me anywhere. You never buy me nice things. You never do this. We never do that. Da 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 da. He's like, since when is that a requirement for you? That has never been a requirement. Like, he's so confused, like genuinely confused, because you never required it from the beginning. Where is this coming from? Now you're trying to change him. I want date night. I want this. Where is this coming from? If he had known from the beginning, maybe he wouldn't have stayed around, because that wouldn't have been his scene. And if he did stay around, he would have been used to it by now, because he would have been doing it from the beginning. So ladies, it's so important to have your requirement list. And yes, it is bold. It is bold to tell a man, this is what I would like, this is whatever. But men actually respect that, because when you know what you want, it makes it so much easier for him to meet you where you are. If he doesn't know what you want and he feels like he has to guess, and he's, feeling out in the dark what's going on, men don't like that. Men are not designed to figure stuff out, what's going on in a woman's head. Just tell him, this is what I like. Oh, it would be so nice if we did this. So I'll give you a practical example. And sometimes, yeah, let me just give you the example. So I'm just trying to get this. Yeah. Okay. So let me give you an example. So the guy that I've gone on dates with this week wants us to go on another date again tomorrow. So he texted me and he asked me, what time will I arrive tomorrow? So I was confused, because we actually haven't spoken about the details of tomorrow's date. I really don't know what he has in mind, blah, 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 at this stage. So, because we haven't spoken about it, all he had said to me is, let's do something on Sunday. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. Let's do something on Sunday. We'll set it up. So, when he says, what time are you coming over? I'm genuinely confused. So, then I say to him, well, that depends. What do you have in mind? And he responds by saying, oh, well, I was thinking I'll show you my place and then we'll go for dinner later. Okay. I was very uncomfortable with the suggestion. I've only been on a date with this guy twice. I literally do not know him. He's literally a stranger. And I'm not at that point where I feel comfortable enough physically to be in a closed space with him. Okay. He doesn't look like an aggressive type of person, but it's not even about him. It's just about me. If I've just met you, I really don't want to be in a confined space with you, period. It's on my grocery list. There are a bunch of other things that we will get to first before we get to each other's homes, okay? So instead of feeling like, oh, how dare he, and I need to tell him where to get off, and he thinks I'm that kind of girl, da da da. I didn't make it about me. I didn't make that home suggestion about me. I actually made it about him, like his lack of creativity, right? So I flipped the script and just sent an oh, dot, 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 like, oh, well, I was hoping we'd do something different this time. That's all I said. I was hoping we'd do something different this time. And he was like, well, maybe you can suggest something, because I was thinking of doing maybe like a fun activity, like maybe bowling, but I don't think that would work with you because your nails. So I don't know, maybe suggest something. Do you see how me having a grocery list has changed my dating experience from being offered, sex, basically? When someone invites you to their house, they're offering you sex. Can you see how you can flip that experience into what you want just by having your grocery list and working off of your grocery list? Like, that's not what I want this time. I was hoping for something different. Like, I have something in mind that I want. And if you want to spend time with me, that's the language that we're going to be speaking. That's it. So I made a suggestion, maybe we can go to the spa. And he was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, let's do that. And I was like, okay, great. Let me know and I'll see you tomorrow. You have to have your grocery list because if you are not proactive about your dating experience, you're going to keep getting what you're used to because you don't know how to get what you want. Because you don't really know what you want. So this man, if he continues dating me, if he continues trying to impress me, if he continues trying to spend time with me, he knows it's a requirement to put effort in to give me a good dating experience. He knows this. Even the next time he sets up a date, he's going to be more creative because he knows I get bored easily. I like, fun stuff. He has to work. He has to work. He knows it. And he will sign up for it knowing it, and he will sign up happily. I'm not going to change halfway through and suddenly I want to be treated nicely and suddenly I want to be taken. No, this is the standard from the beginning. If you sign up for it, sir, this is what it is. And the secret is that men actually like that because it challenges them, depending on where they are in their lives and with themselves. But a healthy man likes that because he feels challenged. He feels like, yes, I also want something different. It's boring to go to dinner every single day. It's boring. I mean, we have to eat, okay? But like, that's it. Like, that's it. And I understand some women don't even get to dinner. But that is your own doing. It's because you walk around and you say yes to everything and you don't sit and think, wait a minute, this is what I want. And I will wait for that guy or for those guys that will give me what I want. So have your grocery list. That's what's going to get you closer to your goal. You have to weed out the low effort, you know, and you have to be proactive in your dating experience. Decide what you like and say it. Say it. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be obnoxious about it. Say it. Say it with a smile, but put it out there. He'll get it. Men are smart. He'll get it. And if he doesn't want to do that, that's okay. Move on to the next one. What are you doing dating one person anyway? You don't have a commitment. I don't have a commitment. I'm going on a date later today with somebody else, first date, while he sets up our spa date. And the day he decides he doesn't want me available for anybody else, he knows what he needs to do. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. So I will also make a video about how to be the kind of person, be the kind of woman that men want to do these kinds of things for. Because let's be honest, not every man is going to do these things for every woman. That's just the cold hard truth. So for me, for example, I know some men are not going to even want to take me to dinner, like the guy last night talking about let's go out. He won't take me to dinner. And that's okay. But somebody will. Somebody will. So I don't have to entertain him. I don't have to entertain him. So, ladies, make your grocery list. Do that over the weekend. Do that whenever. It can change. It can expand. Start with 3 things, and add as you think about it more and more. But have it, have it, have it. It will change everything. It will change everything. And be vigilant, be consistent, be strict about it. If you really want the results that you want, commit to it. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and bye.